Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be learning how to make bags, and on this particular video we're making I have my leather and I have those hard sheets, those black hard sheets, and I'm gumming into the parts I'll be cutting out for the bags, and I've measured them. That's for the front, for the back, for the under, and for the sides I've measured those ones. Like, I have cut them and kept them. The ones you can see behind close to my knee, those are the ones for the sides of the bag, and this one is for the whole bag. And so I've put the gummed it together, so I'll be cutting it out, cutting the bag out of it, and then after I cut it out, then I'll try to gum those sides that are remaining, the cut out of it. This is how it comes out. So from now we're already seeing the shape of how it's going to end up. So I'm cutting those sides out so that I can be able to gum those sides. As you'll be seeing, I'm going to apply gum. This gum is very hard. This is a strong original gum you're going to buy from your market. Don't buy a fake gum though, because if you buy a fake gum it will not work very well. It's going to gum, but after some while it will peel off. So I'm using a very original gum, very adhesive one. Then I'm going to use my brush to apply it, and then I'm going to try after you apply the gum, don't just gum it immediately. Let it stay for a while, let breeze blow it for a while, and then you gum it together. Then you hit it with the hammer so that it stays well. So the next thing, I'm going to be putting those are called base buttons. I'm putting those base buttons. So I first of all use a sharp object to like measure those sides and put marks there so that I can know where to keep them. It depends on you when you're putting yours, depends on the way you want to put yours. You're going to put it the way the space depends on the measurement of your bag. The measurement that you give your bag, that's what's going to determine how you're going to put your base buttons here. So after the base button, we're going to leave this one and then go and start making the lining of the cloth. So from here we're going to this part that I'm sewing right now is for the pocket. Right, this is for the pocket of the bag. It's just going to have one small pocket, and then after I sew it like this, I'm going to turn it inside out so that it can come out very neat. So when I turn it inside out, that's how you're going to see how I'm going to sew it to the cloth. So you have to measure yours. Use the leather that we've done earlier on. You're going to use it to measure the lining that you're going to cut for your bag, and make sure there's enough allowance in this lining, just in case any mistake can happen. You don't want to go and start all over again. So I cut my lining with enough space, and then this is how I put my pocket. As you can see, it's very clear. After I put my pocket, the sides, okay, so I'm trying to sew the leather as my own design that I'm putting. You need to be creative about what you do. I'm sewing the sides of the bag. This is not the like side of the bag, but like the up side of the bag. Yeah, so that's above the pocket. I'm putting those things there so that I can be able to gum it very well, and the finishing is going to be really neat, so that you won't see the lining, like the sewing of the lining, because this is not like clothes that you go to the whipping machine and do all that. So I'm using the leather to cover the ends of it so that it will come out neat. I haven't done that. Guys, it's coming out well. So the next thing, before you join your lining to the bag material itself, you have to, if you're going to put your hand, you have to put the hand of the bag first of all. So I'm trying to manipulate my own kind of hand that I want to put in my bag. I have a picture of how I want it to come out, and I'm trying this one. Yes, so as you can see what I'm sewing, there is already, it's already the ring that I put. Those are 4 because to be 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. As you can see, I put the rings in it, and then I'm going to sew it to the bag so that I don't have to. If you sew it to the bag before putting the lining, it makes your work neater. When you show people the bag, they're not going to see the way you sew the hands. How you put the hands is going to be covered inside the bag, so you have to remember to sew your the handles of your bag. Put it first before you put the lining. And our lining, we're still going to gum it to the bag, and we're going to see that after. Yeah, so done with that. And the lining, I sewed the part where I'm going to put the zip. I forgot to show you guys, y'all forgive me. And you see the pocket the way it is, and the zip sides are set, and I've put the rings, so where I'm going to put the handle is settled. And the next thing that we're going to be doing is gumming the lining to the bag, the body of the bag that we've made so far, and that's how it's going to be looking. Yeah, so, and then the next thing is the main handle of the bag that I'm going to fix to the into the ring that we did earlier on. So this is it. I put the leather, the inner leather, and then I gummed that hard black sheet. The hard black sheet is inside this leather material, and then there's the lining that covers it. And so I sewed it together, and that's why it looks like that. I first of all put the hard sheet inside, I gummed it, covered it with the inner, gum it, and then sew it. And then this is the side of the bag, the 2 sides of the bag. It already has its own rings, because you know there is this long, the hand, the rope, the side bag, like the way you make it in the side. So the next thing that we'll do is gum the lining to the cloth, the whole body of the cloth. Put the lining, we'll soon be rounding it off. Now I've put the gum on this, and then I also put the gum on the lining just the way I did to this. And then these are the sides of the bag. We'll also put gum on it, and the lining of this side also has its own linings. We put the linings on this side too. So the body of the bag, will allow it to dry a little bit. We leave it for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then after that I gum the lining to the body of the bag, and this is what it brings out. So I'm trimming off the excess of the lining. Like I told you earlier on, it has to be more than the size of the bag, so that it wouldn't be small. So I'm trimming off the excess, and you have to trim it very close to it. As far as it's not gummed to the bag, you have to trim it off so that it comes out neat. Since it's not a cloth, it's not like you're going to go and whip it, and if you don't trim it properly, it might be like removing, the thread might be removing, and then it's going to look rough. So we're going to trim it. Yeah, like you can see, it doesn't matter if it's looking like wet. You can see the gum, some like the color of the gum is remaining there and it's looking a bit wet. That doesn't matter, it's going to dry off. So just make sure the thing gums well, so that you're not making a fake bag for yourself or for whosoever you're making it for. So we've trimmed it up completely, and then the next thing is gonna be the sides of the bags. Okay, we're going to gum the lining of the sides of the bags. We've put gum on these ones and we've let them dry for a bit. It's not like you let it dry totally, but you're going to leave it for like 5 to 15, 10 to 15 minutes, my bad, 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're going to gum it together. And you have your hammer. You're going to like heat it a bit so that it stays very wet, adheres very well. Let it gum properly, and then we're going to just trim the excess off. Yeah, we're going to just trim the excess off, so we can see how we sewed the lining to the body of the bag and the way it's looking right now. You have to sew that top too, because the gum is just not enough. Even though you gum it, you still have to sew the side. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to put the sides of the bag. We're going to sew the sides into the body of the bag, and I wouldn't lie to you, this was a bit difficult. I had to like lose it 1 or 2 times to put it back, but as a determined person that you are, you have to finish what you started. So it was a bit difficult, but like, if you love your work, then I must say this is almost the best thing that you can do. So we've put the sides, and the next thing is to fix the runner, which we also call the zip head, to the zip close. We're fixing the runner to the zip close of the bag. So that is the process. There's not to worry about it. This is just how to do it. There you go. There you go. This is it. And then there is one more thing we have to do. Yes, we have to end that side of the zip, because it's going to lose if you don't cover it, sew it with something. So we're taking the leather, the material of the bag, and we're going to sew it around like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And now it's done, and this is how the bag comes out. This is how the bag looks. I think you also could try it by yourself in your house. It doesn't matter the machine you use. Nobody should deceive you and tell you that you have to use a certain kind of sewing machine to make